Almost 2 years into his papacy, everyone agrees that Pope Francis is a breath of fresh air for the Catholic Church. The Francis Revolution has taken the world by storm. In this report, Mitzi Borromeo muses on what this revolution is all about.
For the world, Pope Francis is a man of surprises who stands out as a revolutionary, non-traditional pontiff. But the man we know today is simply a reincarnation of Padre Jorge, the Jesuit Archbishop of Buenos Aires, Argentina, who had the same love for the poor and marginalized, the same desire to reach those on the periphery with gospel joy. Even before tackling the Vatican Bank, calling for ethical financial reform, rallying against human and arms trafficking and the culture of waste, and recently calling out the 15 ailments of the Vatican Curia, he was famous in Argentina for denouncing corruption, poverty, the increase in social inequality, and the excesses of both untamed capitalism and statism.
He was controversial in Argentina. Para sa akin, ang pinaka-imahen para maintindihan ng Pinoy ay parang cardinal sin. Pag nagsasalita, prangka. So, of course, may magmamahal sa kanya at may magpopood sa kanya kasi masyadong prangka. So, he was very straightforward sa kanyang pananalita. But then, very open-minded sa pagtanggap sa tao. Napaka-open sa dialogue, kaya yung mga kaibigan niya, yung Jewish pastor, yung Muslim imam, yung mga gay leaders, yung mga divorced people, yung mga born again. Kumbaga, very open siya sa lahat ng klaseng tao.
Pope Francis is not really doing anything new that his predecessors did not do.
I don't think he's bringing in new concepts or doctrines. It's actually just a new approach because the doctrine has been defined when the last page of the Bible was written. And not even the Pope will change doctrine. So he's just reformulating ancient doctrines and ancient truths and making sure that they are understood in the modern world. I don't think he's changing doctrine. I don't think he's even original because the original one is Jesus Christ. And he's just a disciple of Jesus.
Nasimula na yan ni Pope John Paul II, itinuloy ni Pope Benedict, at itinutuloy ni Pope Francis. Bawat isa sa kanila, sa kanya-kanyang estilo, sa kanya-kanyang unique personality, ay may naitutulong at naiambag para palakasin ang simbahan at maghilom ang ilang mga sugat.
All of these popes were radical in their own ways. It's just that I feel media, different kinds of media, have put their focus on Pope Francis. And so he stands out. He seems to stand out as non-conservative and non-traditional.
There are those who strongly believe that Pope Francis is not revolutionary at all and should be doing more for the Catholic Church.
I'm looking at Pope Francis, and I think that he can do so much more. Particularly, and yes, the Episcopal Church is a small one, but like it has achieved things like our highest-ranking Archbishop in the U.S. is Archbishop Catherine Short, who is a marine biologist and a woman. We've ordained gay bishops. Certain churches, certain Episcopal churches, do conduct gay marriages. And this is just the new stuff. Like we get this is like maybe the last 10 years or so. But decades ago, we have thankfully solved the horribly obvious problem of child rape. And I want to read news articles, good news about him, which is more substantive than like shuffling chairs or making some statement that's easily disavowed by like every other conservative bishop out there. But I'm not seeing it.
According to longtime Vatican journalist John Allen, the Francis Revolution is really more tone rather than substance. He says, rather than turning the church around in terms of doctrine, Pope Francis has projected a much more human, tolerant, and compassionate approach to questions on doctrine. He has opened up a sense of opportunity for the church. There, Allen believes, lies a new conviction that the Catholic message will be heard in a very complex postmodern world.
I would say that Francis came along at a moment when the Catholic Church, in many ways, at least in the court of public opinion, was at a low ebb. I mean, at the end of the Benedict years, the dominant narratives about the Catholic Church in your business and my business, the media business, the dominant storylines were child sexual abuse scandals and Vatican meltdowns, crisis at the Vatican Bank, is there a gay lobby in the Vatican, you know, crackdowns on nuns, problems with women, bruising political fights, and on and on. And look, I mean, those stories obviously haven't gone away, but that is no longer the dominant narrative about the Catholic Church in the global media. The dominant narrative today is rock star Pope takes the world by storm. And in that sense, Francis clearly has given the Church a new lease on life.
A narrative that does not sit quite well with Pope Francis.
Si Pope Francis mismo nagsasabi, bakit ba nila masyadong sinasabing revolutionary ang ginagawa ko? Wala naman akong bagong ginagawa. Baka mamaya sasabihin natin, tularan si Pope Francis. Sabi nga niya, hindi ako ha, si Jesus. Si Jesus. No? Sabi niya, ang pangit na mangyayari kung ako ang tinutularan. It is Jesus. Sabi niya, I am following Jesus. So, lagi niya dinideflect. If there is one thing that the Pope, the present Pope, seems to be quite uneasy about is when things are credited to him. When he says, in fact, what have I done? Sabi niya, is greeting a sick person something extraordinary? Isn't that supposed to be the lifestyle of any Christian? So but why are they making a big hype out of it?
In a world that is so often polarized and divided, Pope Francis's example and message have brought hope into people's lives and enticed many to look at the Church again and reflect on their own lives. Perhaps that is what the Francis Revolution truly is. Mitzi Borromeo, 9 News.